Hey y'all, and welcome to my private cardboard box. Why are we here instead of a nice mansion? Because today we're going to learn why we should use the poor man's covered call to multiply our gains and to make more money with less capital. Again, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor.
Knowledge.
Now I'm going to make the poor man's covered call really simple. Now, if you don't know what a covered call is, I'd check YouTube first to figure that out. But in a gist, you own 100 shares of a stock, and then you can sell a call on the options chain, collecting some premium. So with the poor man's covered call, instead of owning 100 shares of a stock, you're going to own a long dated contract, which is called a leap, either 6 months to a year plus out. And that will essentially allow you to synthetically hold 100 shares. You won't actually hold 100 shares. You'll have one contract, but one contract equals 100 shares on the options chain. So you hold a contract, and then you can sell calls against the contract. So let's just go through an example, and it'll make more sense. Now, I pulled up Robinhood. We're going to do a poor man's covered call on SPY. This is after hours, so the chain won't be moving. But as typical, we usually go 6 months to a year out. So let's go to, let's see what we want to do. Let's just pick a random one. Here we go. June 21st, 317 days out. That's in 2024. Now, the first step of the poor man's covered call is to buy one leap, which is a long dated contract. And we're going to go deep in the money, because if we buy one at the money, you can see our break even is very high over here. It has to rise 8% before we even reach break even price. Now we're only spending $3,700 to do this, but what happens if we go deep in the money with our leap? Let's keep scrolling. Let's say $295. Let's see what it looks at. You can see now, effectively at expiration, SPY only needs to increase 2.76% with this option, and then we reach break-even price, and we're only spending $16,360 instead of owning 100 shares, which would be over $44,000. So we're cutting this capital more than half, only to risk an extra 3% gain for our break-even price on this contract. So for the leap, 6 months to a year out, or a year plus, you can do that if you want, and then deep in the money. This delta isn't even marked, so let's go to a higher one. And this is a 0.99 delta. So every dollar move for SPY, you're going to make 99 cents. So you're basically owning 100 shares, but it's really in a contract that costs $16,360 instead of $44,634. That's a big difference. Now, let me show you. We're on optionsprofitcalculator.com. Let me show you a better idea of what the break-even price actually looks like. So we went to June 21st. So let's click June 21st up here. Where is it at? There we go. And we want to buy the $295. So now we have a better idea of what our profits will actually look like. You can see it's organized by the time till expiration, and then how much SPY will actually be. So at expiration, let's say SPY shoots up 10%, which is possible. That's the yearly average. You can see you'll actually make 22.2% on your options contract versus 10.92% with normal SPY. So you're effectively doubling your returns. So what are the risks for doubling your returns? As we stated, it has to be more than 2% for the break even, which is not a big deal. But there's a lot larger loss that can accrue. So if SPY drops 4.5% by expiration, you're really going to be down 20% on the contract. So that's $3,000. Now, something to keep out for when you want to buy your leap, the first step of the poor man's covered call, you want to make sure you have enough bid and ask volume. And I'd also look at open interest. Open interest is how many people actively own this position. So this one has 44 people, which is good. Some might have 0. This one has 207, which is a lot. Let's see if we can find one with less. 73, 5. Here's one, the 240 call. So only 5 people actively own this contract, so it might be harder to get in and out. So I'd look for some open interest so you can manage your trade easier if you want to sell it and get out of the trade. So let's pretend we buy this covered call. So we're going to spend $16,360 with the $295 strike price, and our break even is 458.6. So now that we bought this, what can we do? Now we can start selling covered calls, and you can sell your weeklies, your monthlies, whatever you'd like to do. Because you own the contract that gives you 100 shares synthetically, you don't actually own the 100 shares, but you own the obligation for 100 shares. Now you can sell the covered call. So we bought the leap, and now you can do a covered call as normal. However you like to sell your covered calls, if you want to go on percentages on weeklies, now you can just start selling your covered calls against your contract. Now to recap, the poor man's covered call starts with the leap, and that's a long dated options contract deep in the money. This includes more risk, but it also includes more upside, typically a year out, and then your break-even price will be very similar. When you own the long-dated options contract, you effectively own 100 shares synthetically, but now you can sell calls against the call you bought. So then you buy the leap, and then you can sell calls against that until its expiration. Don't overcomplicate the poor man's covered call, guys. If you want a full leaps guide, let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you're wondering if it's actually possible to retire using the wheel strategy, check out this video here for its free calculator. Peace.